Listen to this alone in the dark. I'm standing barefoot on my kitchen tile with my phone in my hand, and I keep checking the lock even though I already checked it twice, because something just moved in the hallway outside my apartment, and it didn't sound like a person walking past. It sounded like someone stopping right at my door and then leaning close like they were trying to hear my breathing. My sink is dripping because the faucet never tightens all the way, and it's loud tonight. Loud enough that I can't tell if the next sound is the building settling or a hand touching my knob. And I hate that my mind is doing that thing where it makes every small noise into a threat. I swallow hard and try to act normal. Like if I act normal, the night will stay normal. And I tell myself it's probably the super doing rounds or someone taking trash out. But the air feels tight and still, like the whole hallway is holding its breath with me. I step closer to the door and put my ear near the wood, and I hear nothing for a second. Then a slow scrape, like rubber on paint, right where the bottom of my door meets the threshold, like something is dragging along the floor right outside. My throat goes dry, and I whisper without meaning to, "Hello?" I immediately regret speaking because the building is old and sound carries. And if it is a person, then I just told them I'm awake. And if it isn't a person, then I just told it I can hear it. I back up and the floorboard under my heel pops and the scrape outside stops at the exact same time. Like whatever was there heard that little pop and froze. I stand still with my arms slightly out like I'm trying to balance, and I listen so hard my ears start to ring. And then I hear the elevator at the end of the hall ding once, soft and far. And that should have made me feel better, because that's a normal sound in a normal building. But the ding is wrong because it's followed by silence that's too clean, like the elevator doors didn't open at all. My phone screen is the only bright thing in my kitchen, and it throws my shadow on the cabinets. And I hate seeing it move when I move because it feels like something else moving with me. I walk to the peephole and press my face to it, and the fisheye view shows the hallway lights half on, half flickering, like they're trying to decide if they want to stay alive. And right in front of my door there's nothing. No shoes, no legs, no person leaning in. Then, as I'm staring, the flicker steadies, and I can suddenly see down the hallway farther than I should, like the light got brighter by itself. And at the far end, by the stairwell door, there's a shape standing still, too tall to be comfortable in that narrow space. My chest tightens, and I say it again, but louder this time, like volume will turn it back into a person. "Can I help you?" The tall shape doesn't move toward me. It doesn't step away. It just turns, slowly, like it's rotating in place to line itself up with the peephole. And I know it can't see through my door, but the timing hits me in the stomach like it can. The hallway light above my door buzzes once, and the peephole view shivers with the vibration. And now I can see it clearer because the light is steady, and my brain tries to refuse what my eyes are taking in. It's not wearing clothes the way a person wears clothes. It has something hanging off it like wet fabric, but it clings in strips and leaves long sections of its body bare. Its skin looks gray and slick, like it's been standing in a shower with the water turned cold. And its arms are too long, hanging lower than its knees. Its head is smooth at the top, and then it drops into a face that isn't shaped right, like someone pressed the features in too close, and the mouth is a thin cut that goes wider than it should. It lifts one hand, slow, palm out, and the fingers don't separate normally. They unfold like stiff joints being forced. My stomach flips, and I step back from the door so fast my shoulder hits the wall. I don't want to look again, but I do, because I need to know if it's closer. And when I put my eye back to the peephole, the shape is still at the stairwell, but its head is tilted now, like it's listening. And I realize it's not just standing there, it's waiting, like it knows I'll do what every scared person does and try to get away. I put my hand on the deadbolt and whisper, "No, I'm not opening this." My phone slips in my sweaty hand, and I catch it against my chest, and I think about calling someone, anyone, but the idea of talking out loud feels like turning on a beacon. I open my messages and type my neighbor's name, the guy across the hall who always nods but never talks, and I start to write something outside, but I stop because I don't want to put it in words, because words make it real. The hallway light outside my door dims again, and when it dims, the peephole view gets darker, and the tall shape at the stairwell door gets harder to see, and I'm relieved for half a second, until I notice something that makes my skin go cold. The darkness isn't spreading from the ceiling light like a bulb dying. It's sliding down the hall from the stairwell toward my door, smooth and steady, like someone is lowering a curtain. The shadows in the peephole thicken around that shape, and even when the hall is almost dark, I can still see the outline of it because it reflects a little bit of light off its wet skin. And it's moving now, not walking, just drifting forward in small pauses, like it stops every few feet to listen. I move away from the door and back toward my living room, but the feeling of being lined up with it stays on me like a weight. I look at my apartment door from the inside like it might open on its own. I pull my chain lock across even though it's flimsy, and I whisper to myself like it's a prayer. Stay closed. The scrape starts again, closer. And it's not at the bottom of my door anymore. It's along the wall outside, like something is dragging those long fingers across the paint as it comes down the hall. The sound is slow and careful, like it's taking its time because it doesn't have to rush. I press my back to the wall by the doorway and try to make myself small, and my eyes keep jumping to the peephole even though I don't want to look, because if I don't look, then my mind fills in worse things. The scrape stops right outside my apartment, and I hear a soft click like a nail tapping metal, and then the peephole goes dark, not like the lights went out, but like something covered it from the outside. My heart slams so hard it hurts, and I taste metal in my mouth. I stand there frozen, and I hear a sound that makes my hands go numb. A slow inhale right on the other side of the door, like something is breathing against the wood. Then a whisper comes through the seam of the door, so close it feels like it's inside my ear. Open. I can't answer. I can't even breathe right. And that whisper isn't a person's whisper. It has a wet edge to it, like breath moving through a mouth that isn't made for talking. My knees shake and I back away, stepping on the edge of my rug, and I realize I'm trapped in my own apartment because every exit is a door and every door is a thin promise. I think about my fire escape window in the bedroom, but that means walking past the front door and through the hallway of my apartment, where the sound will follow me, and I don't know if it can come in if I move away from the lock. Like maybe it needs me close to the door, like it needs me to listen. The whisper comes again, patient, like it's repeating instructions to something slow. Open. I run for the bedroom anyway, because staying still feels like dying on purpose. I keep my footsteps light, and I don't turn on any lights. And I hate how familiar my apartment feels, how normal it looks, because the normal parts make the wrong part worse. I reach the bedroom and grab the window latch, and it sticks because it always sticks, and I yank harder than I should, and it jerks up with a loud clack that echoes through the whole place. I freeze with my hands on the frame, listening for what that sound did in the hallway outside my front door. The whisper stops. There's a pause so long my lungs burn. Then I hear the deadbolt on my front door turn from the outside, slow, like someone is testing it, and it doesn't unlock, but the metal groans like it's being twisted. I pull the window up higher and cold air hits my face, and the fire escape is right there, black metal and rust, and it looks like freedom. I swing one leg out, and then I stop, because something moves in the window glass reflection behind me, not in my room, but in the reflection, like the room is a screen showing a different angle. In the reflection, my bedroom door is open wider than I left it, and in that gap, there's a shape in the dark hall inside my apartment. Too tall, shoulders angled wrong, head nearly brushing the top of the frame. My whole body goes stiff, and I whisper without thinking, "How are you in here?" It steps forward into the bedroom doorway, and I see it directly. Not through the peephole, not through a reflection. And my brain tries one last time to tell me it's a person in a costume. But it can't hold that lie, because it doesn't move like a person, and its skin isn't right. The wet strips hanging from it sway like heavy cloth dipped in water, and when it tilts its head, I hear a faint drip hit my carpet, even though there's no water source in my room. Its eyes are there, but they don't catch light the way eyes should. They look like deep dents, and the mouth opens into that thin cut and stays open like it forgot how to close. It doesn't rush me. It just stands in the doorway and turns its head toward the open window, like it's noticing it for the first time. And then it lifts one long arm and points, not at the window, but down, toward the ground outside, like it's telling me where to go. My stomach drops because I live high enough that going down the fire escape at night would be loud, slow, and exposed, and it feels like it already planned for that. I shake my head, and my voice cracks. No! The hallway light inside my apartment flickers on by itself, and the light spills behind the thing and makes its outline sharp against my bedroom wall. And I see how its back is too narrow and then too wide in places, like the bones under the skin aren't arranged the way they should be. It takes one step into my room, and the air changes, not colder, but heavier, like the oxygen got thick. I pull my leg back inside and stumble away from the window because I don't want my back turned to it, and I don't want to climb out with it watching. And the moment I move away from the open window, I hear metal outside, a slow grind on the fire escape like someone is shifting weight onto it. I stare past the thing to the window, and I see the fire escape railing move slightly, not like wind, like a hand. My mouth opens and nothing comes out. The thing in my doorway leans in, not to attack, but to make sure I see it making the choice for me. The whisper comes again, closer than before, like it's coming from both the doorway and the window at the same time. Down. I panic and grab my phone, and I hit 911 with shaking fingers, and it rings once, and then my screen goes black like the battery died, even though it was at 80% a minute ago. I hit the side button and nothing happens. I shake it, press it, and the dead screen reflects my face, and behind me the thing is closer, its head angled down like it's studying my hands. I back up until my calves hit the bed frame, and I can't go farther, and I realize it didn't need to chase me, because it controls where I can go. The bedroom door behind it is open, but the hallway beyond looks wrong now, too dark and too long, like my apartment stretched out when I wasn't looking. It takes another step into the room, and I see its fingers flex, and the joints bend in a way that makes my stomach roll. The wet strips on its body brush the door frame and leave a dark smear on the paint. It doesn't lunge. It just keeps coming with that slow, sure movement, like it has all night, and I don't. I whisper through tears because I don't know what else to do. Please. It stops right in front of me, close enough that I can smell it. A damp smell like old towels left in a closed bathroom. Its head tilts and the mouth opens wider, and I see the inside is the same gray as the skin, like there's no real separation, like it's all one surface. It raises one hand and touches my forehead with 2 fingers, gentle, like someone checking for fever, and the moment it touches me, my body goes cold and heavy, and my arms stop responding like they're not mine anymore. I can still see, I can still hear, but I can't move. And that's the worst part, because it means it didn't have to hurt me to win. It leans in until its mouth is near my ear, and it whispers like it's sharing a secret it expects me to keep. Stay. If you're listening to this, check the space behind you before you turn your head, because it didn't need my door, and it didn't need my window. And the only reason you feel safe right now is because you haven't noticed it noticing you yet. If you have a horror story of your own, please feel free to drop it in the comment section. You never know, the next story could be yours. Subscribe to The Vault so you don't miss what comes next.